Welcome back to the AoT Chronicles, an Attack on Titan podcast. I'm Ronnie.
I'm Chad.
And we are here for another episode. Chad, today we got Season 1, Episode 5, First Battle, Attack on Trost, Part 1.
Okay.
What do you think of this episode?
I thought, first off, that it's an amazing episode.
It is. This is what we've been waiting for right here.
After the cliffhanger of the last episode, obviously, I was super excited to see this. This is like, it was only my second time seeing it, okay? I have not rewatched Season 1, so.
This is one where, you know, especially for me, I told people I would keep them updated. As of right now, I still have only finished Season 1. But this is one when you're watching it and it's not live, you're clicking next right away. Yeah. You got to see what's going on right after that last episode.
Right.
So let's get into it. Right away, you remember those cannons that we had improved last episode?
Yeah.
Well, the Colossal Titan takes 15 to 20 of these stationary cannons out right away.
With just a swipe, right?
Just a nice little swipe. Which is fine because, let's be honest, they weren't going to do a whole lot anyway. But it's at this point, Eren realizes that, unlike other Titans, this guy has intelligence. Because he looks at Eren and he has the wherewithal to realize, oh, I'm taking these cannons out. Eren goes in for his initial attack, but is met with like a hurricane of hot smoke. And then he falls back, tries for a second time, and the Colossal is just straight up gone. And it's around this point where I would seriously contemplate just ending myself. I'd be like, I go in, I'm like, oh, this is it. And then he just disappears. Yeah. And I would say, what are we even doing? Let's just, say bye to the loved ones and let's just get a reset on this entire thing called life.
Yeah, just steam and smoke just flares up and he's gone. Like, I would absolutely... I'm right there with you. I would question ending myself right there. And also, how the hell are we going to beat this guy if he can do shit like that?
It's unbelievable. Which leads to one of my favorite parts already of the episode. I think it's Thomas. His head peeks out from atop the wall and goes, "Hey, were you the one that got him?
Did you get him?
Where has this Thomas guy been? What is he... I mean, how the heck did you not see what just happened? You would see a body, Thomas.
Yeah.
Hey, did you get him?"
And then it's funny because Eren apologizes for not getting him.
Right.
While all of them just stayed back and were too afraid to move.
All right, strap in because this is where things start moving fast. Because pandemonium's breaking out as soon as the wall gets broken into. People are running everywhere. There's a big hole in the wall. We've had at least 105 years to come up with something to patch a hole in this wall. But what that ends up being is essentially a net that you see on a kid's playground to climb up to the slide. That's what we've come up with. That's what we're rolling with. We get a guy, some sort of person who's higher up in the command who tells Eren and the gang, get back to the bunker. We're assigning people to go do certain things. We're regrouping before everything goes down.
And then he also mentions, he's like, if you had any contact with the Colossal Titan, you better report that as soon as you get back.
And it's in this, so they're in this bunker, and like I said, he's promoting all the cadets to soldiers. You know who the kind of person I am. I'm worried about where is Keith. In my head, he's front line, he's riding his cow, and he's just going to take these things down. But we don't see him yet. Stay tuned. Hint, hint. But for now, Armin is losing his mind. He's trying to attach two gas tanks that I don't even think go together. I don't think these are how these are assembled at all, and he's just shaking.
Oh, yeah.
So bad. And he can't do it. He realizes that we should have had a better failsafe than that net on the walls. So I
also want to mention before you keep going with that, right before Armin starts doing this, we have, which their names are Hannah and Franz.
Oh, okay? Yeah.
They basically showed them, and they were like, "Oh, I love you so." They have their little relationship. Right. I love you. We're gonna make it through this. That definitely was just a scene to be like, oh yeah, these people are dying a gruesome death in the next 5 minutes.
That's true. Just hey, remember these guys we haven't really spent any time on? Well, we're trying to make you feel sorry for when they die here in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're back to Armin. He's taken inventory of all the large boulders lying around the city, but the problem is we don't know how to move these things. Some people might be thinking at this point, because we cut to some people atop the wall. They're shooting these cannonballs at these Titans, and so some people might say, "Hey, Ronnie, they really did improve the cannons." But to those people, I would say all they did was prolong the inevitable, because they're blowing their heads off, and then these guys are just growing their heads right back.
They regen in about a minute, so it's like,
what are we
what's
really,
the point?
in the grand scheme of things, we're not doing anything.
They made them a little more accurate. That's about it.
So I'm glad to know that you remembered the cannons. Chaz, do you remember those awesome trenches that we also dug as a safety measure?
With the wooden spikes? Is that what you're talking
Those
about?
Those are the ones. That's exactly right. I just want to take this time to say at this point, we're getting an overhead shot of these Titans running into the wall. A grand total of 1 Titan has fell into it, while the rest are just walking over the bridge. Let me repeat that. Walking over the bridge that bypasses said trenches. And I won't jump to too big of a conclusion, but it also looks like the 1 Titan who fell into the trench is slowly climbing his way out.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, well, how big are these things? Like 10 meters? So what? 5 meters is probably good, right?
That's good enough, right?
And so then we go to the Chimera Ant King playing Snotty Blind Girl. And wait, oops, wrong anime. These are 2 guys named Lord Balto and Pixis. You can tell Lord Balto is a little bit on the heavier side by the way he looks, and also by the fact that he grabs 7 cookies and bit into all of them at once. But
he seems like a typical royal, like anytime you see a movie like back in the day, royal kings and stuff, he seems like the typical fat guy that sits around and does nothing.
Just because he's a lord, he's a king, that's part of the reason why he gets women, but I also would like to attribute it to this guy has a voluptuous mustache.
Oh, yeah. Just absolutely gorgeous. And
it's a really good looking mustache.
And by the way, Pixis, too. His design, I love the look of Pixis. He's awesome. He looks awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. We get we know how I've said these Titans have impeccable timing on showing up. Well, this is another great timing comment, because Lord Balto asked Pixis how he expects to beat Titans if he can't even win a game of chess. And it's around this time we got a strapping young lad that bursts in the room and says, "The gate's been destroyed!" And right away, the Lord's kind of taken aback. Pixis, this guy doesn't even blink. He just grabs the booze that was in front of Lord Balto, lifts it up.
Chugs it like a 15-year-old chugging Four Loko, dude.
Balto's begging him to stay. But instead, this is, I love Keith. This is another underrated character. We get McDreamy that walks in. He's with Pixis, and he tells Balto, listen, he's been letting you win chess. And Balto can't believe this. And so McDreamy and Pixis, they sack up to go help the rest of the soldiers because they're a couple of stand-up guys.
Just roast the king. He's not even a king, is he? What is this guy again?
I mean,
he's a royal.
Here's the thing. We know that they've said, I believe it was Marco last episode that said he wanted to go into the inner walls to fight for the king. So I'm guessing this guy's a king, but not really.
Yeah, I mean, he's just some royal type, maybe a prince or so. We don't really know.
What kind of decision is this guy make? I guess he's the one that decided we bring everyone inside, but this guy's just eating cookies and fiddling around on chess. So right away, we're moving fast. We're to the first calling card. And once again, these cannons, dude. They're wanting us to buy stock in these things, but let me just tell you, Chad, I'm selling hard. They even have a sales pitch on this second slide. It's terrible. It's a terrible sales pitch. They need to rebrand themselves.
I think you're panic selling, buddy.
No, listen to this quote and tell me if you feel good about where your position is in cannon stock.
All right.
Extremely powerful. Okay, good start.
Okay.
But low precision, taking aim and hitting target is difficult. Hey, that's what they said about me when I tried out for quarterback, but I couldn't throw a ball into the ocean, so I didn't make the team.
I think you're exaggerating.
It also might have been because I was 4'7", 125 at the time, but I've grown since then. Give me a shot. Put me in, Coach.
Ronnie, I think you're exaggerating here. I would put all of my investment into this stock. Last month, I just put my whole entire savings into Blockbuster. Okay.
Which, after we bought these $700 mics that we sound great on, by the way, we've gotten a lot of feedback. By a lot, I mean zero. How much money did you even have to spend on Canon stock? And if you did spend on Canon stock, let me ask you, where do you stand on Playground Net to keep Titans out of wall stock?
I'm all in. I'm all in on all of it.
Okay. All right. I've just got shovel stock because we are building trenches to keep these things out of here, and that's going. I mean, that's the only one that's been successful so far.
You've stopped one of them.
Hey, Chaz. Hey, Chaz.
Hey.
No need to fear. Commander Keith is here.
Yes.
Oh my boy, here's our guy. He's looking exactly like a shit I took earlier in the week. He looks so horrible.
I think he just woke up.
Did he grow some hair? He didn't have this much hair before.
He did not. It's been 2 years, and this guy has a mane on his head.
It's amazing because while he's grown hair, this hair looks like it's immediately falling out at an unbelievable rate. He also, I mean, we already knew his eyes were caving into the base of his skull. But like I said, he's losing this hair. He looks like he's been sweating for the past 3 days. I've never seen a man look sicker than this guy does right now. I don't know how he's walking. I love him so much. I'm pretty sure as he's yelling at everyone, his voice is cracking, but I don't speak Japanese, so I can't tell when a voice is cracking. And shit.
Ronnie, this guy is prepared, okay? He's just prepared. That's all it is.
I mean, we've already put this out there in the front. I'm running through a wall for this guy, but he looks a little shook. I'm going to be honest. At the same time, he's getting the plan out there. He's breaking it down. He's telling them, we got the Garrison Regiment in the vanguard. Chad, I know you haven't been in a lot of battles. Lucky for you, I have, and I can tell you that means the front line, okay? These guys are in the front. We've got the Cadet Corps, which means Eren and the gang.
Yep.
They're taking the middle. And the Garrison Regiment's elite, and Chaz, I think this is where you would fit in perfect, because these guys, they're entering through the rear. I mean, they're protecting the rear. Okay, my bad.
Whoa.
They're protecting the rear.
Yeah, I'm better at protecting the rear than entering the rear. I'll just say that.
That's not what I've heard. Anyway, Keith gives us a nice summary, just in case you weren't listening, he basically tells everyone, guard wall rows with your lives until every single citizen has safely evacuated. That's the goal because, listen, wall rows, it's not standing up to the test of these Titans. But if we can get everyone behind that other wall, that's when things are really going to start changing. So we got to make sure everyone gets through that.
And he's, just keeping everyone's hopes up. He even mentions, hey, the armored Titan could appear at any moment. So
yeah, he which everyone's like, oh, cool, that's good to know.
Great.
Cool,
We'd
thanks.
love to see him.
All right.
Can he do the magic trick where he just disappears into thin air like the Colossal Titan, or what?
And then Eren peeks his head out the bunch. He's like, he doesn't even look that different from the other Titans.
He's not even that big.
If you haven't seen him, I'm here to tell you, don't worry. He's not even that impressive. He just ran through a very thick wall when I saw him last.
Eren.
Keith also mentions that desertion. So if you go into this battle, right?
Okay.
You go to turn away, you will be punished by immediate execution. So you might be wondering, who's going to be doing this? While everyone else is going around fighting Titans, I like to think Keith, he jumped off his cow, right? He's ODMing around the city. He's just looking for anyone who might be thinking about deserting, and he's just cutting them down on sight. And he just cannot stand the idea that someone has turned their back against this war, and he's finishing him right. He's like zipping by Titans.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, maybe this guy's going to get me. And he just goes right by him and just kills another guy.
A Titan's got someone in its mouth, like being ready to be saved, and Keith just comes zooming by, and he's like, oh, he's got me. And then you just see him fly by and slice down one of his squad leaders.
Yeah, the other squad members are like seeing all this. They're trying to backtrack, and Keith's just slaying them.
Yeah.
I love him. Jean is pissed, right? We're back with him and Eren and the gang because he's like the cops in the movies that are 1 week away from retiring, so you know they're immediately gonna die. Because he's talking about how he was 1 day from joining the Interior, and now this is really gonna happen.
It's like when you're working, at a fast food joint or something. It's 9:59. You close at 10, and someone pulls up and orders 60 McChicken nuggets.
Oh my gosh! And
you're 1 minute away.
You were so close, but they snuck in there, and now you gotta like restart the fryers. You gotta go get the nuggets from the freezer. It's just this big ordeal. You were gonna get out at 10:45. Now you're not getting out till 11. It's just
Jean's like, wow. Why couldn't you have just waited one more day to start slaying all these people? Titans, come on.
He acts as if it was one more day, he would be on the inside and just not even be worried about this situation. Like the people on the inside of that, they're just like, okay, we got some other people worried about the Titans breaking through the second wall right now. We can just chill out. What movie you guys want to watch? We're going through some different options here. Just pick one, and we'll just hope that they do well. I don't think that's what's happening, Jean. And so anyway, he's talking about how mad he is, which we automatically know who's mad about hearing him be mad.
And that would be our boy,
Eren Yeager. So he runs into Jean, and to Eren's credit, he gives him a really pretty good motivational speech that changes Jean's mind. He's out here laying it out. He's saying, listen, this is what we've been training for, dude. This is what... the past 3 years, this is what it's been all about. We're ready to go.
He's like, people died in the 3 years that we trained. We trained for this. He's like, tighten up, buddy. Let's go.
I see what you did there. You're on fire tonight, Chad.
Thanks, Ron.
Mikasa, she's still concerned because she knows Eren is going to get himself killed. So she's trying to say things, hey, if things get bad, come find me so I can protect you because you're pathetic. Which
is what she always says, I feel like.
She's like, listen, if 3 o'clock hits, come find me. I've got your daily dose of bread. I'll feed you. Just don't be stupid. Don't get yourself killed.
She's like, if you have to take a shit, I'll wipe your ass. Whatever you need, Eren.
And it's at this particular time a guy comes up and he's like, yo, hey, you're in the rear guard now. Follow me. And she's like, see, this is kind of my, we'll just call him a friend that's a guy, and I've got this bread, and if he doesn't, and he's like, I don't care, you're coming with me. And Eren, once again, he's just a little ball of fury right now. He's like, the idea of Mikasa back-talking direct orders is total boner killer for him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, which I completely understand this at this time. He just straight up headbutts her, right?
So she reluctantly accepts and heads that way, but not before telling him one last time, don't get yourself killed, Eren.
And he doesn't take that comment lightly. He just, he doesn't say, okay, I love you, Mikasa. He just shrugs her off.
Right.
Like normal Eren.
And we go to a flashback where we get some information that we've been wanting for a while. And I couldn't tell. I think this might be part of their cadet training.
Yeah, it looks like, they were in like a classroom with their cadet training.
Yeah, they definitely felt like they looked a little bit younger, so it might have been right at the beginning of cadet training, but because it does look like you see some other members who are part of like the top 10 in there. And they're basically just learning about the Titans. So I'll just kind of go through here, tell you what we learned about them. First of all, the only thing we know about them is based on information obtained by the Scout Regiment, because anything that we knew about them before the past 100 years it wasn't destroyed. We didn't have any of that info. They can't confirm any kind of intelligence because we've also had no communication with them. Their body is fundamentally different from other human beings, which is a fancy way of saying they don't have the sexual organs that is usually how.
So they have no idea how they are even there.
Right.
Pretty much.
We just don't know how they reproduce, how
exist.
Are there baby Titans? Who knows? Most of them have male builds, and their body temperatures run extremely high. And the scariest part about it is they don't care about any other life forms except for the humans. Which
is crazy because we know that the Scout Regiment, they ride on horses a lot to go fight these Titans, so they don't care about the horses whatsoever.
Not at all. And that's, like I was saying, the scariest part. Their only drive in life seems to be eating humans, but we also know that they survived over a century without humans, so they don't need them to keep on living.
Yeah, it's a pretty cruel thing if you think about it.
We're in a serious pickle with these guys. This might not make you feel so good about your canon stock, Chaz, because we learned right here firsthand that if we're blowing their heads off, it's not killing these things. They're just going to regenerate their heads. They're back up and at them 1 to 2 minutes tops.
Oof. So I need to sell, is what you're saying?
I was trying to get you to sell at the beginning of the podcast, but you were really, falling for the 52-week high, and I'm telling you,
I'm gonna wait it out, man. I don't feel like panic selling.
All right,
now.
He's bullish. To kill these things, you got to get a deep cut in the back of their neck. That's the only way to keep these things dead. And that's kind of what we were seeing in the forest last episode when they were practicing on the mannequin Titans.
So I guess this would be before they started the hard physical training, them in the classroom, because they would have to know to go for the neck. So I guess this is right when they started training.
That's kind of what I ended up on. Eren is excited about using this opportunity. Sorry, I kind of jumped ahead a little bit. They're with his squad. We're back outside now, okay? We're getting ready to do this thing. And he's just excited. He's seeing this as an opportunity to get a promotion, maybe Employee of the Month. Everyone count along, right? We got the whole squad. They're going to count how many Titans they kill. It's going to get high.
Oh, the best part about that is Thomas, our boy Thomas.
Right.
He challenges them to see how many Titans they can kill, okay?
So everyone count at home. It's going to start adding up real quick. Eren's squad, they zip off.
And the most epic 3D maneuvering
This
gear
is
scenes.
Awesome. We love the ODM gear. They're zipping around.
The animation is just on point.
Doesn't last long because they start to realize how bad things truly are and how many Titans are already inside the walls, because that front line Keith was talking about earlier, completely dismantled.
Just gone.
And we haven't really had it in a couple episodes. Ronnie's Titan of the Week.
I was about to say, this is a strong candidate for it.
Yeah, I kind of messed up last episode. I don't think I talked about it last week. It had to be the Colossal Titan, because what an entrance. This week, I'm giving it to the Titan that hurtled / flew over 10 buildings to catch Thomas out of the air with his mouth.
Abhorrent that just flew out of nowhere, and instantly, 30 seconds after Thomas challenges his teammates to see how many kills they can get, is just swallowed up by this guy.
So let's take a look at the scoreboard. How many Titans did Thomas kill? 0. Okay.
0 Titans.
Better luck next time. Yeah, this Titan's like an impressive dog that runs and catches a frisbee while jumping into water. This is going on Sports Center's top 10 for sure. This is a great play.
Oh yeah, it's the waviest Titan kill we've seen so far in the past 5 episodes.
So while following Mikasa's instructions, which was don't get yourself killed, right?
Yep.
I just want to make sure that I have that right.
That's
because
correct.
From what I saw on the TV screen, Eren starts yelling, "You're not getting away with this," and takes off after this Titan that he just saw make the greatest play I've ever seen. Which, I don't know about you. Give me your take here, Chaz. But doesn't seem like a great way of not getting yourself killed.
Yeah, especially when he goes alone. It's not the play that I would make, especially just out of pure anger, just rushing through by yourself straight at a Titan that just absolutely just shat on Thomas, who wouldn't have even joined. Let's mention this.
Oh, wow.
He wouldn't even have joined the scout regiment if it wasn't for Eren. So
yeah, didn't think about that. That's not great. It seems like Eren's letting his emotions get the better of him here, because it just doesn't seem like a well thought out plan, is all I'm saying. He naturally zips across what I like to call the hungry hippo titan that just jumps out of an alley and
jumps out of nowhere.
I mean, where did this guy come from? He just chomps off his leg.
Oh, and then he just has a terrible tumble, dude.
Yeah, so he's definitely not running anywhere. He's just laying on the roof thinking about how he's going to kill all the titans now. But this was brutal and a huge shock to see your main character just out of nowhere gets his leg decapitated like that. Just like that.
I score him a 3 out of 10 on that.
You going 3 out of 10?
I'll go 3 out of 10, just because the tumble was kind of cool, but...
Yeah, tumble was cool, but he still didn't stick the landing. You got to get up on that one leg and really
yeah, I guess you're
plant that finish for the judges.
I guess a 2. I'll go with 2.
Okay. I'm glad I could talk you down. The Titans have completely taken over the situation at this point. I mean, it starts with Thomas getting taken out of midair. Eren's losing a leg. Everyone else, we got one person who's getting swatted out of the air. Another one's getting their cables grabbed by a Titan. And all of this has taken place. You're thinking, oh, who's left? Who do we have? Armin's got to be out there saving someone.
Arlert, our boy Arlert.
And it's, sometimes I like to be nicer. I like to call him Armin, but this is a total Arlert moment right here where he just falls to his knees watching all of these people getting eaten.
And then he asks himself, why am I watching my squad be devoured? That's a good question, dude. Why are you watching this?
It seems like you would be the one to give us the answer there. But no, I mean, this is terrible. You got to feel for the guy, but at the same time, this is why I feel like a lot of people would say Armin is their least favorite character with the first few episodes.
Yeah, I mean, he's not making a good case to be a top character at this point. Besides the name Arlert, I mean, that's a cool name.
And I just got to say, we mentioned earlier sub over dub, and I also mentioned how in the beginning I was watching in dub. And I got to say, these last 4 to 5 minutes here is what really made me a subber.
The emotion. It's straight emotion.
Voice acting, a little, it's a little all over the place. I liked it much better in sub, but once again, I'm not here to judge. Like the show how you like the show. We get his inner monologue. This is Armin, while a big bearded old man Titan comes, picks him up, starts to slide him down his gullet, which
what I think is awesome about this Titan right here is he just straight up picks him up, doesn't even think about chewing him. He's just dropping him in like
he acts like it might be a I don't even know what you eat like this.
You eat like a Skittle that you kind of just drop into your mouth, maybe.
Yeah, Skittle, or you're shaking up the whipped cream and you tilt your head back. You got to get some elevation on that whipped cream can.
You make sure it doesn't hit any of your teeth. You pour it directly into your mouth.
That's right. Yeah, and he's just sliding him down the gullet, which triggers a flashback for Eren, who's a couple. Let me stress this part. Feels like he's a couple roofs away. Put a pin in that. Let's go to this flashback. Roofs. Armin comes down. This looks like the same exact spot where the Colossal Titan first showed up in episode 1. So this might be like their little spot they hang out in. He's got a book from the outside world from who other than that dirty old grandpa. You remember him?
The thief. That's what I remember him as.
Yeah, that's the only way to remember him as. It's a good thing we got rid of this guy. He probably stole this book too. Where did you get this book? And I don't know if they've mentioned this before, but stuff like this, it's against the law inside the walls.
Yeah, you cannot talk about... It's really just you can't talk about the outside world, right?
Which makes me believe, personally, remember, Mikasa was excelling in all subjects. I'm guessing they don't have history because it's illegal. Armin's telling Eren about the sea, fire water, ice lands, fields of sand... And Eren's like, he's just blown away by this.
I would love to see the fire water, dude. Whatever is outside the walls.
Yeah, spoiler alert, they mentioned the fire water a couple times. It's, you saying lava? You guessing lava?
I'm guessing lava. I'm not really sure what he's trying to say there.
I don't know why
whoever wrote that book might be a little off.
It's just weird. You think the fire water would at least, come after Icelands and Field of Sand. It's right up there behind sea. And I don't know about you, but I just have not seen... I've been outside of walls for a long time, and I've never once seen firewater.
I have not either, man. I would love to be in this world. That's all I know.
So when Eren and Armin get out of here and they're gonna go see firewater, I hope we can tag along because I'm just as interested. Armin mentions that his parents are gonna go out to the outside world soon, and since this is a flashback, we know from, I believe it was episode 2, Armin had told us that his parents died outside the walls.
So it wasn't the greatest idea.
Looking back on it now, not the perfect plan, but it's just kind of, I guess they're presumably dead from Titan. But it's just interesting how Armin knows this, because it doesn't seem like they were going out as part of the scout regiment.
Which even, makes their plan it makes it even worse, because why would you go just you two outside of the walls,
It's a bold plan.
If the scout regiment with multiple soldiers can't even make it back without only just an arm for showing, and you're going to go out with just your husband, don't really know what they're trying to do on that.
Seems like they were confident. I respect that. Doesn't seem like that trait passed on to old Arlert over here on the roof. So anyway, we go back to real time, right? Armin's still sliding down this throat. And just like that, Eren presumably teleports to inside this Titan's mouth to save Armin.
I think you learned it from the Colossal Titan when he disappeared.
This was so shot. I got to rip the show a little bit here. Love the show. This was so out of nowhere. The way the scenes work, Eren is laying on that roof I had mentioned earlier, 2 blocks away from Armin, as Armin is sliding down this thing's tongue. And the next thing you know, and keep in mind, the Titan was going whipped cream technique. He was mouth up to the sky. And with one leg, Eren managed to zip on over there, up into his mouth, catch Armin, and throw him back out.
He had to have said, "The world," before he zoomed over there, is the only explanation of how he got there.
To his credit, it might have been, they played with time a little bit. I'm not going to pick on it too much, because it brings us to a crazy moment where Eren gets his arm chomped off, and he gets swallowed by the Titan.
Which is just, for the first time seeing that, is just absolutely mind-blowing.
You don't know, what do you think at this point?
I can't even remember what I thought. I think I was so shocked I didn't think anything.
I know you burn through animes like it's nothing, so you probably just clicked the next episode before this one even finished. Because at this point, how would you expect Eren to get out of this situation? And we get a last little scene after Armin starts screaming his lungs out of Mikasa possibly hearing Armin screaming, maybe just feels a bad vibe from Eren getting swallowed. She turns around and she just looks concerned. And then
her hair is flowing perfect in the wind.
End of episode. Great hair flow.
Yeah.
Right here. That's a great point. And like I said, that's the episode, and I really don't know what to say.
The second half of that episode was amazing. I'll say the first time I saw that, I was instant, okay, that's my favorite episode, no doubt.
This definitely feels like, you start off watching the show, you go, okay, that first episode, great concepts. Second episode kind of builds off that. Third and fourth, doing a little world building, do a little character development. You wait and see what they got in store for you. And then they hit you with this bad boy, and if this doesn't get you reeled in, I don't know what would.
Yeah, if you're not wanting more after this, then you must be a Nazi.
Yeah,
or something.
it feels like this might be where you jump off the train or the bandwagon, because it doesn't get much better than this. I love the episode. Do you have anything else to say about it?
I don't. My boy Isayama, man's a genius.
Let's get to some feedback. Let me check the mailbox here.
All right, let's check it.
And it's empty.
Wow.
But if you're listening, you can fix that. Send us an email over at thepodcastchronicles.
We will Venmo you $1 if you send us an email to the podcast.
We really will.
We
if
will.
You send us a thing. We were kidding about the shirts before. we will Venmo you one smackaroo to the first 30 people that send us feedback.
Yeah, we were totally kidding about the shirts before. If you send us and you get some of your buddies to watch this, if you send at least 10 feedback messages to us, we will then send you a t-shirt. It's not the 100th viewer. It's 10 messages from 10 different people.
And at this point, you might be getting a little confused. 1 email, 1 Venmo dollar. 10 emails and a whole group, then we can start talking about t-shirts, okay?
Yes.
Once again, that email, thepodcastchronicles@gmail.com.
And please subscribe, thumbs up.
Yeah, subscribe, go to YouTube, like the video, comment, tell us how much you hate us, tell us how much you like us.
Tell your mom, tell your dad.
Tell your dog.
Cat, brother, sister.
Yeah. And
tell that weird kid that lives across the street that you don't talk to about us. I'm sure he'll listen if he's weird.
Tell my old football coach who cut me from the team because I couldn't make it as quarterback.
Well, that's what happens when you're 4'7" and 200 pounds.
But he just didn't understand I was growing. Anyway, whatever. This is the end of the podcast. Thanks for listening. I'm Ronnie.
And I'm Chaz.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.